Hello, this is Dr. Tom Groover from Boulder Chiropractic Clinic, and I'm here today with my patient, Cammie White. Thanks for coming in, Cammie.
Oh, you're welcome. Thanks for having me.
Cammie has broken a track record for cycling, and that's the topic of this conversation. We'd like to know a little bit about the race, the preparation for the race, why you did it, what it was like. This is a rare opportunity, I think, for a lot of people because most of us have probably not thought anything about riding a bicycle across the continent. So can you fill us in on your story a little bit? So can you tell us about what you did and why you did it?
Sure. We were actually part of a 4 mixed tandem team that was racing across America in the official RAM, which is Race Across America, in 2015. And my husband and I were one of 4 tandems, and it took 18 months of training and preparation, not only on the bike, but with your help.
Yeah.
And it was committed training, as what we were doing was intervals, 30-minute sprints across America 24/7. And we did break the world record. We made it in 6 days, 10 hours and 37 minutes.
Yeah, and did you take something like 10 hours off the world record? Something like that? What was it?
Yeah, we took about a half a day off of the existing record, so it was significant.
Yes,
Mm-hmm.
And so now how long has that race been going on? Do you know? I mean, how long did that record last, for instance?
I believe that the official Race Across America started in 1982 by just a few guys that were on single bikes, and not every year has a tandem contingent.
Mm-hmm.
But we know that the record we broke was several years running, so it was a long-standing record.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, once again, congratulations.
Thank you. And I will mention there was over 50 record and an under 50 record, and they take the average of all 8 racers and divide. We were under 50, but just for the record, we broke both records.
Right.
So
yeah,
it stands.
Very nice.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I guess the big question is, just like climbing the Himalayan mountains, Mount Everest, why did you do it?
Well, yeah, we've been riding tandem for about 25 years up to that point, and significantly improved over the last five years. We really got more into the endurance side of it.
Yeah.
And so we were picked out of some of the nation's best tandems, and we just could not pass up the opportunity. It had been on our bucket list, and it was my husband's 50th birthday that year and our 25th wedding anniversary, so it was a significant year for us.
That's wonderful.
Thank you.
And this is a husband and wife tandem team.
Correct.
Yes.
And every couple on our team was married.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I didn't know that part either.
Yeah, and I will mention that this past year, 2016, a 4 tandem mixed team went after our record, and only one of the couples was married, and they were a day behind our record. So
right.
Interesting little tidbit.
So that may have something to do with with winning, as being married. Well, when you think about it, I mean, I've had the pleasure of attending your open house for your new home, which you all renovated, and I saw your workout room, and the tandem bikes set up there, and I can see where you can watch movies and stuff while you're working out, and you're doing it together.
Yes.
And so it's like it almost looks like your major recreation time together is training and running these races.
That's correct, yeah. In fact, before our meeting today, we were out for 3 hours, and that's just that would be a short day for us because of the weather, but yeah, tomorrow we'll be out for normally 5 to 6 hours.
Yeah. Yeah. So just like other bicycle racing, you had like vehicles like cars like a van,
Mm-hmm.
and I talked. I know that there was a chiropractor on staff riding, like riding along in the van with you.
Yes, he was.
Yeah.
He was there to help if needed, and also was a follow driver. And he did do some help for me before the race, and that was great. But of course, not to the extent that you've helped me. But just good to have him along.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing. I got to talk to him at the open house, and a very fine person, and his wife was just awesome, and he was talking about what it was like sleeping up in the luggage rack of the van.
Pretty much.
While it was rolling along, in between treatments.
Yeah, the volunteers were amazing. We had a crew of 28 for our 8 racers, and it was a significant task to pull off, and I believe that's a big portion of why we were successful, because everyone was committed to our goal.
Yeah, so there was quite a bit of planning that went on, obviously, and you had to fill all these spots. You had to recruit people and get them committed, and get a plan together so the team worked together, and that's, yeah. Yeah,
and in fact, none of us racers had really ridden together much at all up until the race, because 2 were from California, and then we've heard from Boulder and a Wyoming couple, so it was quite a task to get it all to happen.
Right. Mm-hmm. Wow. It sounds like a lot of video conferencing.
Yes, a lot. Yeah, we had a bi-weekly call, and also did some training in Arizona the fall before the race, just to the tactical part of the exchanges and all can make or break your record. So
right.
It could also lead to a major accident. I mean, there was a lot of risk.
Yeah, I would think so. Because you're dealing with Mother Nature.
Yes.
And you're dealing with road conditions.
Yes, traffic and hot. It was so hot in the desert starting. It starts in mid-June, so you can imagine starting in the heat of the desert was very, very tough.
Yeah. Wow. So did you do the traditional thing where somebody dips their front tire into the ocean on the other side?
We did that it starts in Oceanside, California, and we did do that, but it actually finishes in Maryland, so not quite the East Coast, but close enough, and it was still 3,070 miles, so significant. We finished at 2 a.m. also, so that was...
Yeah, a little prohibitive.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, what a wonderful experience. I can just say from my side that it's been really a privilege and a greatly interesting thing to be a part of helping you with this race. And, I've enjoyed, it's like I got to participate, I got to watch it and see it and feel part of it. And it's been a real honor. And, it'd be just really great to see how you do in the future. I know that you had one other big accomplishment, like a record that the two of you broke.
We've been doing a lot of gravel since the road race, meaning we have a specific gravel tandem built for us. And so we've been doing endurance riding on that no other tandems have done. And in fact, this summer, we are going from Rawlins, Wyoming to Taos on our gravel tandem for my 50th celebration, and it will be about 70 miles a day self-supported.
Right.
So that'll be equivalent to probably doing almost a double century on the road just for the time it takes daily on gravel.
Uh-huh. And then there was something you said about, ascending 2 peaks in the Rockies on your bike?
Yeah, we have done all of the...
3 peaks.
Well, we've done all of the paved passes highest passes in Colorado, and we don't think any tandem has ever done that. We did that all over one summer, and that was significant. We've also done the Hoodoo 500 in Utah, 500 miles and actually 530 in 3 days of riding, and no other tandem has done that on the record book. So
Right.
Mhm.
So I need to ask you something that could be embarrassing to me, but are you able to ride pain-free, pretty much?
Pretty much. I can certainly go for a nice long span between visits to you because you're so helpful when I do see you, and I refer to you as the magic chiropractor because you have helped me so significantly,
Well, thank you.
especially with the normal cycling issues of hip and knee and back. So
Yeah.
it's been a very, very helpful relationship.
Well, thank you. I know that I run into a lot of cyclists, like high-level cyclists, and they often have resigned to the fact that cycling is going to create some pain, and they cycle with pain, and they still are able to perform at a very high level. It's a very particular group of athletes. They oftentimes have authorities that they've been going to that have been the reputable go-to people, So I don't usually press too hard to get them to come in here because I know that it's going to be a challenge because they are. In fact, one of the problems I have, actually, I could talk to you about this a little bit, is that the competitive cyclists are so busy riding their bikes that they don't find time to come in for treatment.
That's probably type A typical people because, if you're not working, you're thinking about training. But I do know when I make an effort to see you, I feel so much better. So I just think that's human nature.
Well, thank you. Well, it's been really interesting talking to you, and I hope everyone enjoys this sort of a public interest story here because you don't usually get a chance to actually hear or talk to someone in person about some accomplishment like this. So it's a rare thing, I know, and I appreciate your sharing your story with us.
Thanks for having me and your help.
Thank you,
Always.
Cammie.
Thank you.